behind the shades.
Especially these days, right? The last couple of years, we probably all have felt powerless one way or another. And from what you're saying is that you want to make sure that first and foremost, you're identifying that, yes, you have something. Don't run away from it. And two, you want to do something about it. And three, you want to find whatever solution or resolution will work for you.
Yeah.
As you're going through those, I don't want to say that's your steps, but that seems to be like what we need to do.
Yeah.
As someone is going through the healing process, saying that they've identified, they've acknowledged, and now they're doing something about it, where do they go from there?
First things first, the one thing that's popping to my mind right now is one, be kind to yourself. It is essential that you are kind to yourself because you're going to see something, experience some things, and you're going to ask yourself some question as to why did I allow that to happen? First of all, you're a child. You didn't know any better. And even if you did know better, you're doing it's childlike behavior, right? We're not supposed to have it all together as children. I don't know who told you you were supposed to, but you're not. That you're an adolescent, you're trying to figure things out. That's the perfect moment to make mistakes. So if you look back at an event or a scene and you're like, well, that was stupid. It really wasn't that stupid, to be honest with you. You were just doing what you could with what you had. So just be kind to yourself. It starts with that. Where you go from there is really subjective. For me, once I started being kind to myself, I was more accepting of the things that I've experienced. It was no longer, oh, I feel shame or I feel guilt. It was just, okay, so this happened. I now know why it happened. The reason why I allowed it to happen is because I was predisposed to these things. And it's not like you're giving yourself an excuse. You're just being honest with yourself and you're giving yourself grace because you need grace in a process like this. Because without grace, it's going to shit. Yeah.
And I think that's a good point because we can beat ourselves up.
Yeah.
It's like when I speak to someone who has been abused physically, sexually, or mentally as a child, the question is, what did I do to deserve this? Right? Or how can I have prevented it? Or maybe I could have prevented it if I stopped doing this. Maybe I asked my parents this question too many times. Maybe my grades wasn't good enough. Maybe I wasn't attractive enough. And then you seek ways to not only harm yourself inside, but then you participate in harmful behavior, right? It's like the child who didn't get enough attention at home. They may go out there and seek attention from whomever, and that leads them into gangs, into all kinds of other situations. So when we talk about not harming ourselves, not to beat ourselves up, is there a mind shift that we need to take to get to the point where we're saying that I went through this, it was bad, but it's not necessarily my fault, but I want to continue forward and be positive and be constructive?
Yeah. It's a battle. I'm going to be honest with you. It's hard, but it's a change of perception. It's a change of perspective that helped me. It was no longer, and you were kind of speaking on it before, it was no longer, what did I do to deserve this? It was, they did this because there was something going on with them. I no longer personalized it, right? I was at a stage in my life where my caretakers, my caregivers, they were responsible for me. They were responsible for making sure that I was protected, and that wasn't done. That doesn't mean that I'm not supposed to be protected. That no longer means that I'm not worthy. That doesn't mean that I'm not enough. It's changing the meaning that we give into that situation. And that is hard consciously, because the next day, something else is going to happen and your automatic response is going to be, I'm not enough. I'm unworthy. I don't deserve love, anything along those lines. So it's working with yourself daily. It took years for you to create that belief. It's not going to take days for you to remove it. It's unrealistic. And the one thing that I strive for is realistic change. I can't snap my finger and you're going to be the person you want to be. It does take consistency, because you're worthy of it. And I know somebody told you that you weren't, probably directly, or their behaviors indicated that to you, but you know better today. You know better today. And it's the you that knows better today, but it's the younger version of you that doesn't. So it's working with her or him and talking to them on a daily basis with kind words and giving them grace. That's it for me.